I'm very much thankful to SETM Secretary and Chair for inviting me on the online summit on environmental science and earth science. Today here, I will present one of my study had done for mountainous watershed in India, and my presentation topic is identification of catchment scale based practices by using RUSLE and MMF soil loss models at mountainous watershed in India. So, as we all are familiar with the word soil loss, which is resulting from the soil erosion, and it is also an universal issue which affects the agricultural production and natural resources management and all others problems. So, soil erosion or soil loss, which is occurs at the earth's surface, uh, removes the thin layer from the surface of the earth or the soil particles from the earth's surface. Along with this, the degradation of soil physical properties occurs. This affects the crop growth and yield by reducing the rooting depth for the crops, available water and nutrients for the crop growth and yields. In India, generally, the soil erosion occurs by two agents, water and winds. So, as most of the area in India, which is receiving high amount of rainfall, so dominating erosion is done by the water. In that, when the raindrop strikes with the on the soil surface, at that time, because of the raindrop striking, the detachment of the particle has been occurred. When the after receiving the rainfall by the soil, and when it is fulfill the infiltration capacity, then it starts the moving along with the surface. And when it is moving with the surface, then detached soil particle is also moved along with the water, along with the runoff or water. So at that time, the transportation of soil particles, and along with that the nutrients are and all transportation has been occurs. When that runoff has no sufficient amount of kinetic energy to move that soil particle, at that time the deposition has occurs. So the erosion process is which is influenced by numerous anthropogenic factors like urbanization, mining, human intervention, and also by natural causes such as flush flooding, rainstorm, etc. And as the soil erosion is a continuous and non-linear process, so assessment of its environmental impacts is very ambiguous. There are numerous methods has been available for quantifying the soil erosion in many places has been developed, like region wise developed, and other like a small scale based like field farm size was developed, and many others developed. So these are the some commonly used developed models like universal soil loss equation, then revised universal soil loss equation, water erosion prediction projects, and European soil erosion model, and modified Morgan and Finte model. These are the some common models that has been used to calculate in Indian condition for soil loss erosion. This is my study area, which is situated, the study area Nongpo micro watershed, which is situated in the Riboi district of Meghalaya in India. And in the study area, as it is peri-urban watershed in mountainous region, so which is receiving, because of peri-urban watershed, and which is receiving the uh, almost 2700 mm per annual rainfall, as it is the near the district headquarters, so there is anthropogenic activity is too much high, and also the afforestation has been increasing in day by day. Because of that, there is some problem occurs in agricultural production also, and soil erosions. These are the some common problem now currently facing in the study area. So in different land uses, like in open forest also there is a soil erosion occurring, and also in settlements areas, dense forest and agricultural lands, the soil erosion problem has been facing. So because of this, we had planned to do this research, and we did that research with the objective to prioritize the critical erosion hazard area within the micro catchment based on annual soil loss, land use and land cover. And second objective is to make the appropriate management plan for the prioritized area. This is the methodological flowchart of my study. Here, firstly, we take the DEAM, a digital elevation model, from Bhuvan in our Indian space organizations, from our Indian space organizations. From that, we have delineated our microcatchments boundaries, and also we have calculated the slope. And from list 4 image, we have prepared the land use land cover map from the list 4 image, list 4 satellite image. And similarly, the soil loss was estimated by using both the models, RUSL, revised universal soil loss equation, and MMF, modified Morgan and Finlay models. And both the model are compared to check the similarity or trend of the soil erosions. And after that, we have prioritized the soil erosion based on the threshold value of soil loss. Uh, all the parameters has taken in the ArcGIS, and there was a management plan was prepared. So this is the slope map of my study area, as it is almost more than 60% or 60 to 75% of the area which is coming under high slope, and also it is receiving high amount of rainfall. So the soil erosion problem has been occurred in very prominently in that area. And only at the lower slope area, this region, the agricultural activity is occurring, as the soil is degrading from the upper portion, it is deposition on the lower portion. So there is a huge problem in agricultural field, and also from the agricultural field the soil erosion is occurring. So this is the land use land cover map of the study area. So we can see the almost 30% of the area, almost 78 hectare of area, almost 30% of the area which is comes under the dense forest, and which is followed by the open forest and settlement areas by and agriculture. So and in this watershed also we can see that the conservation practices like terracing or contour banding, it is very less, only 1.5% and 0.05%, 0.07%. So we need more conservation practices in that area, and for that we need proper planning, where it should be, where we can go for the terracing, where we can go for the contour banding, and which type of crop we can fix over there. So for estimation of soil loss, we use two model. Among them, revised universal soil loss equation is one of the model. In that, the input parameter of that is rainfall and runoff erosivity factor, soil erodibility factor, topographic factor, crop management factor, and supporting conservation practices factor. So that rainfall runoff erosivity factor is estimated by using the monthly and annual rainfall data throughout the observation and calibration periods, uh, by using the Androlas model, which is monthly and yearly precipitation data. And similarly, the soil erodibility factor was calculated by from the soil physical properties, by using soil physical properties. In that, we have collected the soil sample from the various place of the watershed, and then we have analyzed the physical properties, sand, silt, clay, organic carbon, bulk density, etc., from their soil sample, and we have calculated the K factor by using Weichmann and Smith's equation. And then topographical factor, this LS factor was calculated by the DEM, digital elevation model, from that digital elevation model of the study area. And the crop management factor, which is calculated from the satellite image, list 4 satellite image, by using the NDVI approaches. As conservation practices, as there is very less area for conservation practices, only contour banding and some are terracing. So at both points it is given as 0.5 and 0.6 for p values, and the remaining area is given as 1. Similarly, the another model is modified Morgan and Finlay model. This model separates the erosion process in two phases. One is water phase and another is sediments phase. In what does in water phase? When water phase, it's calculate the kinetic energy of rain to detach the soil particle from the soil mass or carried away along with the surface runoff. And in sediment phase, it's calculate the rate of soil particle detachment by rainfall or runoff, and also it's determined the transport capacity by the runoff. So uh, the Morgan et al. Has concluded that among these two, soil particle detachment plus splash erosion and the runoff transport capacity by runoff, among these two, the lower value will consider as a rate of soil erosion from any area. So as there is a limitation in space and time, so I could not able to cover all the formulas and all, as it is very vast model, which is having almost 16 formula. So I will refer to, please go through this uh, paper for further more details about this model. So after that, we did the calibration and validation of these two model. For calibration and validation of Ruslan MMF model, the calibration period was taken for 2010 to 2015, and the validation was 2016 to 2019. For this, the calibration of Rusle and MMF models, the two factors as the other factors that lend you that our LS factor, like slope length or topography factor, rainfall factor, all pattern are likely to similar for the study area. So only one parameters, which is crop cover management factor, and this is depends on the crops and plant vegetations and plant height. So this factor is changing over the time. So we have taken as a calibration parameter of C factor and plant height for Rusle and MMF models. And the observed soil loss was estimated uh, on the observed soil loss was estimated on the from the study area. After every rainstorm, we have collected the water sample, and with the grade number 42 filter paper, we have separated that soil from the water, collected water, and after that we have oven dried it and weighted it and converted it into the ton per hectare per year. And after that we have compared the observed soil loss versus that simulated and predicted soil loss. This is the results we have got from the both the models. First, I would like to uh, share the Rusle models results, in that the rainfall eligibility as the high amount of rainfall receiving in the study area, which is almost 2700 per year. So the rainfall eligibility is very high in that study area. Also, the mainly that 75% of that rainfall which is receiving in the study area from monsoon season. So the erosion occurs at the monsoon season is very much high in the study area. And the next soil erodibility factor also it's found to be high in the study area, as it is sandy clay loam over there. So it is very high uh, in the study area, K factor. And the topographic factor, which is ranges from 0 to 106.24 with an average of 6.04 in the study area. And this was calculated by using DEM and slope map of the study area. Similarly, the C factor, which was calculated from list 4 image, and it was found to be vary from 0 to 1 for the study area. And for the agricultural land, it was found 0.35 to 0.35 to 54 for the agricultural land. And for the dense forest area, it was found to be it was ranges from 0.1 to 0.12. And similarly for the settlement, it was found to be 0.54 to 1. And the results of we have got the results from MMF model, in that the kinetic energy which is produced by the rainfall, it was ranges from 37,537 to 63,066, which is very high as the rainfall as the rainfall is receiving high. So rainfall erosivity and kinetic energy both are contributing high amounts in the study area. And also the runoff depth of overland flow is also very high in their study area, as the slope is high, and the rainfall is amount of rainfall is very high. So the overland flow is also high. So this is the detachment rate and transportation capacity. So the detachment rate, which is ranges from 5.12 to 15.50 in the study area, and the transportation capacity, which is 0 to 35.7 to kg per square meter. Among these two, the detachment capacity is less, as the Morgan et al. Has concluded that among these two, the less one will taken or consider as a soil erosion rate. So we have taken the soil erosion rate for the detachment rate as a soil erosion rate. So this is the comparison of both the models. Among the comparison of both the models, we have seen that uh, by both the models, it shows the erosion. The study areas comes under the severe erosion risks, and MMF model, which is underestimated by 7.74%, than the Rusle model. It's because of the there is a many in MMF model there is a many inputs is required, and other factor also creating the problem. So because of that, the minor uh, difference is there. So land use land cover wise soil was estimated at the study area. So it was found that agricultural land which is having almost 79% of almost 53% of area among the 44% among the total area of 44 hectares. So it was found that average annual soil loss was 79 ton per hectare per year, and which is followed by the dense forest and scrubland. The dense forest, which is having almost 42% of dense forest area and 39% of scrubland area, total scrubland area. This was the prioritization map based on the threshold value of soil loss. We have created this map, and threshold value was taken for 40 ton per hectare per year. As the literature published, and we have taken that value. The for mountainous watershed in Indian condition, the 40 ton per hectare per year was taken for the threshold value for soil erosion for mountainous watershed. So above this 40 ton per hectare, we are considered as a high erosion risk, and below this the lower erosion risk of the study area. So after getting the all the parameters from model analysis and the prioritization, so now we go for the management plan, and this is the condition for management plan. So we have taken the greater than 40 ton per hectare soil loss, and also we consider the slope and land use land cover, and we have proposed the management plan accordingly. So if there is a more than 40 ton per hectare soil loss is there, and which is in the slope of 0 to 8%, and whatever the land use over there like agriculture or open land or scrubland, then we will go for graded bunding or contour bunding. And secondly, if there is a 40 ton per if it is more than 40 ton per hectare per year, and which is falls under the 8 to 33% of the slope, and if there is a land use land cover is agriculture or scrubland, then we will go for terracing. Instead of agriculture and scrubland, we will recommend we will go for the terracing. Similarly, if there is a more than 33% slope, and if there is a agriculture or open forest or scrubland area is there, then we will recommend for afforestation. And if there is a less than 40 ton per hectare per year, and which is approaches to the 40 ton per hectare, or which is approaches to cross the threshold value in that area, and which is also follows the which is also followed in the slope of 0 to 8%, and if there is agricultural land, then we suggest that for intensive agriculture. So by this condition, we had a management plan, and we found that almost 7.88 hectare area comes under graded bunding or contour bunding. Similarly, the afforestation was done at 22.57 hectare areas, whereas intensive agriculture, there need to be intensive in agriculture for 25.12 hectare area, and terracing also the need of terracing almost 13 hectare areas, and some total of 68 hectare areas need to be give the special contents concentration over there, and need to be managed according to the plan. So this is the management map view of a management plan. So we can easily visualize that where we can plan, where we can go in the field conditions. Suppose like this is the map view of management plans. In the overall conclusion, like the average annual soil loss, soil erosion estimated by Rusle was found to be 59.94, almost 60 ton per hectare per year, whereas the MMF model estimated the soil loss is almost 55 ton per hectare per year. Similarly, the soil erosion was found to be highest in dominated area, and which is followed by the scrubland and open forests. By considering both this model, it was found that the MMF model underestimate the erosion rate relative to the Rusle model by 7.74%. Within the study area, we have prioritized the 68 hectare areas, and also we have proposed for the alternative land uses, and also from the analysis of the result, we can say that the this method will help to understand the erosion risks of watershed or vice versa land uses, so that the same can be exploited, extrapolated to the other watershed with the similar landform or soil or land uses. This finding will also aid the implementation of robust best management practices for hilly mountainous region in the world. So more details on this study can be found on our paper has been recently published on Sustainability Journal in 2021. So this you can refer for more details on this work. I would like to acknowledge my engineer Ranjit Das and Dr. MP Tripathi for their constant support and uh, for their guidance. And thanks to all for patiently listening my presentation. I will would like to hear any suggestions from your side.